do you see the future of the R&W insurance market?
Yeah, please go ahead, Emily.
No, I was just going to say, I think this is an interesting question, and we did touch on that earlier when we talked about how the market is evolving very quickly. I think there's going to continue to be pressure on speed of underwriting and a greater move to this being almost a straight indemnity product rather than just a transfer of risk. I think pricing is going to continue to be pressured, but as claims increase, I think that's going to even out. And I think we're going to see greater and greater use from strategic buyers, and that they have a slightly different outlook. Private equity is looking for coverage for everything. Strategic buyers tend to be more cherry picky about the things that concern them. And so what I'm seeing on strategic buyers is more sort of coverage for special indemnities rather than some of the blanket coverages that private equity want. But I think, I've been doing this for 20 years. I started in London, where this product has been around for a lot longer, and it's gone through a lot of cycles of up and down. I think we are actually getting to a space where the tipping point has happened on this market, and that this product is now here to stay, as long as we can ride out the sort of the bumps of a growing and evolving market.
Yeah, I agree with that. This is Michael McGowan again. I agree with that. I think there will be some additional pressure on pricing, retention levels. There are still a couple of markets trying to get into this space. I don't foresee many more trying to get in at this point, but there are still more that are trying to gear up. Whether it's a market coming from internationally that wants a U.S. presence, or a new MGA, or so on and so forth. There are a few more markets that are probably going to come in. I think that there will be some shakeout as claims kind of come in, and obviously the reinsurance industry is involved heavily in this as well. So there will be some degree of compression there with how things are being structured. But I think what you're going to see, especially in the next year or so, is more of a stabilization. Something that's gone from definitely a growth industry of the last few years to a more stable, mature industry. You'll definitely see maybe a little bit more standardization on products, and you might see different types of products also being developed, splitting off. And I think you're also going to see an increased use from strategics, definitely. We've already seen that at XL, and I'm sure that others have seen this too. And I think that as strategic buyers are getting more comfortable with it, as their internal risk team or their internal corporate development team is understanding of how to utilize the product, I think you're going to see much more of that. And I think that's where there's really the biggest growth area. So I do think that there's going to continue to be an uptick of policies across the board. I don't really foresee that slowing down, very soon. But again, it's becoming a more mature market versus a strictly growth market.
John Gilbert, the only other thing I would add there too is that in addition to rep and warranty insurance, there has been a large uptick an uptick in tax liability insurance, contingent risk policies, sort of alternative insurance products that cover a risk that a buyer may be known or maybe unknown, but a rep and warranty insurance product either is not designed for it, or it's too much of a risk that it can't be covered. So that has also evolved as well. And I think as transactional risk as a whole, that'll continue to grow as a separate and standalone market itself.